Boa noite de algum lugar entre o Kremlin preparando demonstrações devastadoras de superioridade militar e a Casa Branca descobrindo que suas fantasias imperiais na Venezuela esbarram na realidade brutal dos mísseis hipersônicos russos. Hoje vamos analisar como Putin literalmente destruiu os planos de Trump para a Venezuela, não através de diplomacia ou negociações, mas através da linguagem que o império entende melhor: poder militar absoluto. Esta não é uma análise sobre tensões diplomáticas entre Washington e Moscou. É sobre algo muito mais explosivo e definitivo, como a Rússia demonstrou que qualquer aventura militar americana na Venezuela resultaria em humilhação épica do poder imperial americano diante de sistemas de armas que os Estados Unidos simplesmente não conseguem interceptar nem neutralizar. O que estamos dissecando hoje é o momento exato em que ficou claro para todos os analistas sérios que a era da impunidade imperial americana acabou para sempre. Putin não apenas protegeu a Venezuela, ele expôs publicamente a vulnerabilidade militar americana de uma forma que nenhum presidente americano pode ignorar. Vamos começar com a demonstração que mudou tudo: o teste dos mísseis Oreshnik. Em novembro de 2024, Putin autorizou o primeiro uso em combate dos mísseis hipersônicos Oreshnik contra instalações militares ucranianas. Não foi apenas um ataque tático, foi uma demonstração estratégica calculada para mostrar ao mundo inteiro que os Estados Unidos perderam para sempre a superioridade militar que sustentou sua hegemonia por 80 anos. Os Oreshnik viajam a Mach 10, 10 vezes a velocidade do som. Para colocar isso em perspectiva, um míssil lançado da Rússia pode atingir qualquer alvo na Venezuela em 18 minutos. Qualquer base militar americana no Caribe pode ser destruída em 12 minutos. O tempo de voo para Washington, D.C. é de 15 minutos. Mas velocidade é apenas um aspecto. Os Oreshnik carregam múltiplas ogivas independentes que podem ser direcionadas para alvos diferentes durante o voo. Um único míssil pode simultaneamente destruir uma base aérea, um porto naval e uma instalação de comando, tudo na mesma sequência de ataque. Mais importante, não existe sistema de defesa ocidental capaz de interceptar mísseis hipersônicos. Patriot, TAAD, Aegis. Todos os sistemas americanos foram projetados para ameaças que viajam a velocidades subsônicas. Contra mísseis hipersônicos, são completamente inúteis. Putin deixou isso explícito em declaração pública. Recomendo que as elites dirigentes dos países que estão planejando usar suas contingentes militares contra a Rússia pensem seriamente sobre isso. Tradução diplomática: qualquer país que atacar alvos russos ou aliados russos será destruído por armas que vocês não conseguem parar. Agora vamos conectar isso diretamente com a Venezuela. A Venezuela é membro honorário dos BRICS e está sob proteção militar explícita da tríade Rússia, China e Irã. Isso não é apenas retórica política, é commitment militar real com consequências reais para qualquer país que tente agressão militar. Rússia tem conselheiros militares em território venezuelano desde 2018. Sistemas de defesa aérea russos S-300 e S-400 estão operacionais na Venezuela. Aeroportos venezuelanos podem receber aeronaves militares russas a qualquer momento. E agora, com os Oreshnik demonstrados publicamente, qualquer força de invasão americana na Venezuela está sob ameaça direta de destruição hipersônica. A matemática militar é simples e brutal. Se os Estados Unidos tentarem invasão da Venezuela, a Rússia pode destruir toda a logística da operação: navios, bases aéreas, centros de comando, antes que tropas americanas sequer desembarquem em território venezuelano. Porta-aviões americanos no Caribe se tornariam alvos sitting duck para mísseis que eles não conseguem detectar até 30 segundos antes do impacto. Bases americanas na Colômbia, no Panamá, em Porto Rico, todas dentro do alcance de mísseis que não podem ser interceptados. Trump entendeu a mensagem perfeitamente. Todos os planos de intervenção militar na Venezuela foram quietly arquivados depois da demonstração dos Oreshnik. Não porque Trump desenvolveu sensibilidade diplomática, mas porque seus generais explicaram que invasion venezuelana seria military suicide. Mas a destruição de Trump por Putin vai muito além da questão venezuelana específica. Putin essencialmente forçou o Império Americano a admitir publicamente que perdeu supremacia militar global. Durante 80 anos, a capacidade militar americana foi foundation da hegemonia dólar, da dominação da OTAN, do controle de instituições globais. Sem superioridade militar credível, toda a architecture imperial americana colapsa. E foi exatamente isso que aconteceu com a demonstração dos mísseis hipersônicos. Putin provou que pode projetar power letal instantaneamente para qualquer ponto do planeta, sem que Estados Unidos tenham qualquer capacidade de responsa defensiva. Isso muda fundamentalmente todas as calculations geopolíticas. Países que antes aceitavam pressure americana por fear de consequências militares, agora sabem que America lost deterrence capability. Se Estados Unidos não podem garantir própria security contra mísseis russos, como podem garantir security de allies ou threaten enemies credibly, a destruição psicológica de Trump é ainda mais profunda, porque expõe completely sua rhetorical posturing sobre peace through strength. Que strength? Contra adversários com mísseis hipersônicos, American military superiority é pure fiction. Trump prometeu durante campanha que acabaria a guerra na Ucrânia em 24 horas através de superior negotiating position backed by American military power. Realidade, Putin demonstrated que American military power é irrelevante quando facing hypersonic weapon systems. Venezuelan context torna humiliation ainda more acute. A América Latina sempre foi considerada quintal americano onde Estados Unidos poderiam intervir militarmente sem serious resistance. Agora, pequeno país como Venezuela está efetivamente protected por weapon systems que tornam American intervention suicidal. Vamos analisar as specific implications para American Strategic Planning. Pentagon planners sempre calculated interventions baseado em assumption de air superiority e naval dominance. American way of war depende de ability para establish safe airspace, project power através de carrier battle groups e maintain secure supply lines. Mísseis hipersônicos tornam todas essas assumptions obsoletas. Não tem air superiority quando o enemy pode destroy airfields faster que você can repair them. Não tem naval dominance quando carrier groups can be sunk in minutes. Não tem secure supply lines quando every logistics hub está vulnerable para instant destruction. Venezuelan scenario specifically, qualquer intervention americana would require massive logistical build-up in neighboring countries. Bases na Colômbia para ground forces, naval assets no Caribe para amphibious assault, air support from multiple locations para cover operations. Com mísseis hipersônicos russos, toda essa infrastructure pode be destroyed simultaneamente antes de operation even begins. É literally impossible para Estados Unidos para mount successful military intervention against Russian protected target. This represents fundamental shift in global military balance. Para a primeira vez since World War II, Estados Unidos face adversary que can inflict unacceptable damage in American forces sem que Americans have effective response. Nuclear weapons sempre provided mutual deterrence através de mutually assured destruction. Mas hypersonic weapons provide conventional deterrence através de conventional assured destruction. Russia pode destroy American conventional forces anywhere no mundo sem nuclear escalation. Agora vamos examinar how this impacts broader American imperial strategy. American empire always depended on credible threat, de military intervention para maintain hegemony. Countries obeyed American demands not because they loved democracy, mas because they feared American bombs. Hypersonic weapons eliminate that fear. Se Estados Unidos cannot threaten military consequences credibly, então sanctions, diplomatic pressure, and economic coercion become primary tools. But these are less effective e easier para resist através de alternative partnerships. Venezuelan example demonstrates new dynamic perfectly. Apesar de maximum American economic pressure através de sanctions, Venezuela survived porque Russia, China, Iran provided alternatives. A military intervention option está completely off table because the hypersonic deterrence. This pattern will repeat throughout Global South. Countries know agora que, if they develop right partnerships com Russia, China, Iran, eles são effectively protected contra American military threats. American response has been predictably pathetic. Instead, de acknowledging new reality and adapting strategy accordingly, Washington doubles down on failed approaches while pretending nothing fundamental changed. Treasury Department continues imposing sanctions como si economic warfare could substitute paramilitary deterrence. State Department continues making threats everyone knows are empty. Pentagon continues developing weapon systems que são already obsolete. It's como watching dying empire refuse para admit que world changed around them. Para Venezuela specifically, Russian protection através de hypersonic deterrence created space para full economic recovery and political consolidation. Same threat, the American military intervention hanging over them, Venezuelan government put focus in development rather than survival. Oil production increasing, infrastructure projects resuming, international partnerships expanding. More importantly, Venezuelan success in surviving maximum American pressure in quanto protected by Russian weapon systems provides inspiration, a practical template para other global South countries. Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Colombia, all watching Venezuelan experience learning que independence from American hegemony is possible with right partnerships. Russian willingness para extend hypersonic deterrence para protect allies changes calculations para entire Latin America. Countries no longer have para choose entre independence and survival. They can have both. Chinese economic investment combined with Russian military protection creates alternative architecture that makes American dominance obsolete. But Putin's destruction that Trump goes beyond military and strategic dimensions. There's profound psychological component. Trump's entire political persona based in image, the strength, dominance, deal-making power. Ele constantly boasts about being tough negotiator que can intimidate adversaries através de superior American power. Putin's demonstration que American power is meaningless against Russian capabilities completely undermines Trump's self-image and political brand. How can Trump claim para be strong leader quando everyone knows Putin can destroy American forces at will? This psychological dimension particularly important because Trump's domestic political support depends on projecting image the strength internationally. American voters support Trump because they believe ele makes America great again através de dominance over other countries. But Putin proved that America is not dominant. It's vulnerable. Russian missiles can reach American soil faster que American missiles can reach Russian soil. American aircraft carriers são floating targets que can be sunk in minutes. American military bases são sitting ducks que can be destroyed instantly. For Trump supporters que believed in American military superiority, Putin's demonstration a devastating psychological blow. It forces recognition que America lost military dominance and therefore lost bases para claiming global leadership. Venezuelan context makes humiliation even more complete, porque it demonstrates que a small country protected by Russia can successfully defy American power. If America cannot force compliance from Venezuela, como can it claim global leadership? International implications equally devastating. European allies suddenly realize that American protection guarantee are worthless against hypersonic weapons. Japanese, South Korean, Australian military partnerships with Estados Unidos become liabilities rather than assets. Countries throughout Global South recognize that American military threats são empty bluffing. Economic sanctions become only remaining tool, mas these are increasingly ineffective as alternative systems develop. Most importantly, para long-term geopolitical dynamics. Hypersonic weapon demonstration accelerates multipolar transition através de eliminating American military deterrence. Countries que previously feared American military intervention now feel free para pursue independent policies. Economic partnerships comme China, technological cooperation comme Russia, energy agreements comme Iran, all become more attractive quando military consequences são eliminated. American isolation increases as countries realize que alignment com declining empire provides no benefits and significant risks. Better para develop relationships com rising powers que can provide both protection and opportunity. Para Brazil specifically, Putin's destruction de Trump creates unprecedented window para strategic autonomy. American military threat permanently diminished through Russian protection availability. Economic alternatives increasingly available através de BRICS, Chinese BRI, and other non-Western institutions. Technological cooperation possible com Russian and Chinese partners without fear de military retaliation. Brazilian leadership can pursue truly independent foreign policy para primeira vez since American hegemony established. Partnerships baseados em mutual benefit rather que fear the consequences. But success requires understanding que this window is limited. American empire in decline is more dangerous, unpredictable. Economic warfare, political interference, sabotage operations, all will increase as military options decrease. Preparation essential, diversify partnerships, strengthen domestic capabilities, develop alternative payment systems, build social resilience against destabilization attempts. Venezuelan experience provides roadmap, early diversification to partnerships, community-based economic systems, resource sovereignty, social unity against external pressure. Most important lesson, independence possible, must requires commitment para accept short-term costs para long-term benefits. Putin's message para Global South através de Venezuelan protection clear, resistance possible, alternatives exist, success achievable com right partnerships e preparation. Era de American military impunity ended November 2024 com Oreshnik demonstration. New era de multipolar balance beginning, com countries free para choose próprios paths without fear the American military intervention. Para conclusão, Putin não only protected Venezuela, ele fundamentally altered global power dynamics através de demonstrating que American military dominance é fiction. Trump's imperial fantasies crashed against reality, the weapon systems que Estados Unidos cannot match nem counter. Venezuelan protection becomes symbol the new world order where small countries podem resist superpower pressure successfully. This is not temporary setback para American power. It's permanent shift que will reshape international system para próximas décadas. Countries que understand implications e adapt accordingly will thrive. Those que cling para old assumptions will suffer. Brazilian choice clear. Embrace opportunities created by multipolar transition or remain trapped in declining imperial system. Putin showed path para independence. Rest depends on Brazilian leadership's wisdom e courage. Por hoje é isso. Putin destroyed Trump através de demonstrating que era de American military impunity acabou forever. Venezuela represents first success de new multipolar protection system. Future belongs para countries brave enough para choose independence. Mas a dimensão mais profunda da destruição de Trump por Putin ainda não foi totalmente compreendida pelas análises ocidentais. A demonstration que o próprio conceito de superpower tornou-se obsoleto quando facing civilizations com advanced asymmetric capabilities. American concept de superpower sempre baseado em assumption que overwhelming conventional military force could guarantee political compliance. Biggest military budget, most advanced weapon systems, global force projection capability. These were supposed para guarantee American dominance indefinitely. Putin proved que this entire framework is fundamentally flawed quando facing adversaries com advanced technological capabilities, strategic thinking, superior technology beats superior quantity, strategic patience beats tactical aggression, asymmetric response beats symmetric competition. Venezuelan protection case study demonstrates perfectly como new type the power projection works. Instead de maintaining massive military presence throughout region como Estados Unidos attempt, Russia provides targeted protection através de advanced weapon systems que make American intervention impossible. More efficient, more effective, more sustainable. Russian approach requires fraction the resources que American approach demands, yet provides superior protection para allies and greater deterrence against adversaries. This efficiency differential crucial para understanding why American empire declining while Russian influence expanding. American model requires enormous resource expenditure para maintain questionable dominance. Russian model achieves superior results through technological sophistication and strategic focus. Chinese approach similarly efficient, economic development partnerships que benefit both sides rather que exploitative relationships que benefit only hegemon. Iranian approach, regional influence através de proxy networks rather que direct occupation. All three approaches, Russian technological deterrence, Chinese economic development, Iranian proxy networking, represent evolution beyond traditional imperial models. They provide benefits without imposing unsustainable costs. American response predictably focuses on trying para match asymmetric approaches através de symmetric methods. More military spending para counter hypersonic weapons, more economic sanctions para counter Chinese development partnerships, more direct intervention para counter Iranian proxy networks. But symmetric responses para asymmetric challenges always fail because they misunderstand nature, the competition. America está fighting last war while adversaries fight next war. Hypersonic weapons represent technological revolution comparable para introduction de gunpowder or aircraft carriers. They fundamentally alter nature de warfare just como those previous innovations altered military balance. Countries que develop advanced hypersonic capabilities primero gain decisive advantages over those depending on previous generation systems. American military-industrial complex structured around aircraft carriers, fighter jets, and conventional missiles, all vulnerable para hypersonic attack. Russian investment in hypersonic technology over past 20 years, while Americans focused in counterinsurgency operations in Middle East. Result, Russia achieved decisive technological advantage precisely cuando American imperial overstretch reached breaking point. Venezuelan protection demonstrates perfectly como technological advantages translate into geopolitical leverage. Small country como Venezuela can successfully resist superpower pressure cuando protected by advanced technology que superpower cannot counter. This dynamic will accelerate throughout Global South. Countries que previously felt vulnerable para American pressure now know que Russian protection available para those willing para develop appropriate partnerships. Cuban example instructive. Despite 60 years the American sanctions, Cuba survived porque Soviet-Russian support provided alternative para American-dominated systems. Venezuelan example similar, mas more significant porque involves resource-rich country que American desperately need para sustain declining economy. Chinese protection também expanding throughout Global South a través de economic rather que military means. Countries participating in Belt Road Initiative gain access para Chinese markets, technology, and investment que make them less vulnerable para American economic pressure. Iranian regional protection model provides template para countries facing American-Israeli pressure in Middle East. Resistance networks prove effective against conventional military superiority cuando properly organized is applied. Combination de Russian technological deterrence, Chinese economic alternatives, Iranian resistance models creates comprehensive protection system para countries seeking independence from American hegemony. Venezuelan success demonstrates that this protection system works even against maximum American pressure. If Venezuela can survive, other countries can calculate que independence possible como appropriate partnerships. American strategic problem fundamental cannot match each component the multipolar protection system separately, cannot compete against system as whole, porque requires resources America doesn't have capabilities America lost. Putin's destruction to Trump therefore represents not just tactical victory, but strategic transformation the global power structure. Era de unchallenged American hegemony ended cuando alternative protection systems proved effective. Brazilian implications enormous. Country que successfully managed American pressure during Cold War through careful balancing now faces opportunity para genuine independence a través de multipolar partnerships. But timing critical. American empire in decline makes dangerous que American empire in strength. Wounded empires lash out unpredictably. Economic warfare, political interference, sabotage operations all escalate cuando military options eliminated. Venezuelan experience instructive. Maximum pressure applied cuando country most vulnerable. Protection provided cuando country demonstrates commitment para independence. Brazilian preparation essential para navigate similar dynamics. Conclusion. Putin destroyed Trump no apenas militarily, mas conceptually. Demonstrated que American model de power projection obsolete cuando facing advanced asymmetric capabilities. Venezuelan protection proves que small countries can successfully resist superpower pressure come appropriate partnerships. Brazilian choice, embrace multipolar opportunities or remain trapped in declining imperial system. Future belongs para countries wise enough para recognize que world changed fundamentally. American military impunity ended November 2024. New era de multipolar balance beginning. Choice, adapt or decline. De algum lugar entre Kremlin's hypersonic laboratories e Caracas celebrating another year de successful resistance. Ciao tutti.